So, Merry Christmas everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I've not been out on the bike for a while, but I got the new wireless DJI mic for Christmas, so I thought I'd go for a quick ride onto Plymouth Hoe. Something I've been meaning to do for a while anyway, so I can show you what it's like up there, show you a nice little picturesque view of Plymouth Sound and the lighthouse and all the other stuff that they've got up there. And I also got my other half a DJI mini 4K drone for Christmas, so she's gonna have a little play around with that as well and fly it up, which hopefully if she does a good video I might attach it to this video so you can see that as well. But it is what day is it, 27th, so day after Boxing Day. Had a nice Christmas, family over, got spoiled, got the DJI selfie stick as well, because if you watched my last video where I went to Shore Prior, I took my my camera off the helmet just to film a little bit, and my fat fingers got in the way, so I got a selfie stick. I've not brought that with me today because when we get to the Hoe and I just point it around a bit, I'm not really going to do a lot of filming up there. It's more for Jenny to try a drone out. But yeah, first time I've been on my bike for maybe a month. I had to kickstart it with some extension leads because I've not used it. When we had the last storm, the bike got blown over, because the only problem is it's nice having a rain cover on it, but it almost gets used as a parachute by the wind, and it blew it up and knocked it over. Didn't realise until the neighbour knocked on the door and told us. By that point it was laying on the ground for half hour, I think. But because it fell over to the left, it bent my shifter a little bit, so I can still use it. There's nothing wrong with the shifter, it's still working, it's just bent a bit, so I'm now having to move my foot more in towards the bike to shift it rather than being able to do it comfortably. I have seen some YouTube videos on how to bend it back, which obviously I will do, but whilst I'm still using it I don't want to risk snapping the actual shifter itself by bending it back. But yeah, so that happened after a storm, or because of a storm. All the fuel leaked out of the bike as well, so I did take it to refuel at the time. But I suppose it's perks of being a motorbike rider, unless you've actually got a garage or somewhere similar to store it so it's out of all the elements. It's either going to get soaking wet or it's going to end up getting blown over, or... And it wasn't the only bike that I saw that had been blown over by the wind. Driving home from work, there was quite a few bikes on its side. But this should only be a short video. It's only a 10-minute ride from my house to Plymouth Hoe, maybe 5 minutes of showing you around Plymouth Hoe, and then that'll be it today. So with me, I've been looking at tents and stuff because I've seen a lot of motor camping, and it looks amazing. So I've been looking at a lot of tents. Obviously, it's recommended to get a light one, especially on the 125, as you know, it struggles enough as it is with just my weight, let alone having a massive tent. For Christmas, my other half got me a big motorbike dry bag, so I can make sure all my equipment's dry, and it's also got all the connectors for you to be able to connect it on top of the top box. So that's something I'm going to be looking at maybe in the new year. Obviously I'm not anywhere far for the time being, just because I have got a 125. I know you can travel around the UK on it, plenty of A roads and back lanes to go, but just for comfortability I'll probably hang on until I've done my direct access course and I've got a bigger bike. Plans are still in place to do my direct access during August next year, so that's still in place. And I was umming about bikes before. I like the Honda Hornet. I also like the Yamaha MT10, but I went to the local bike dealership and I sat on my Yamaha and I'm tiptoed. Although I'm like 5'9", I've only got a 29 inside leg, so that was annoying because it was one of the bikes that I was really hoping that I could get. I know people have said obviously as long as you lean in, then your one foot will be flat, but obviously it's just being comfortable. However, I've seen a lot of riders like using name Kate trying out the new Honda Hornet 1000, and they were trying out the I want to say the SP edition, the Sports Performance edition, which to be honest with you at the moment doesn't really bother me. You know, I just want to get a big bike, get out on it before I think about any sports performance. But they did have the normal bike and they had it in a Grand Prix Red, and I believe when Kate was talking about it, she said that it was just shy of £9,000 for a 1000 Honda. It's a good price. So when it comes down to it, I'll look at exchanging the Lex Moto. Not expecting to get a lot from it, but if I can get enough just to cover the finance, and then I can exchange it and then hopefully then get the Honda or a bike similar. I did sit on the Honda 650, CV650 when I went there, and that was a nice bike, it felt nice and comfortable. But obviously when I do get my full licence, I'm going to test ride a few bikes. I've got a friend, Mark, he's got his own tattoo studio in Plymouth called Reds, and it is going to get rebranded next year. But he's got a Ducati Monster, so he comes out with me. Well, I'll go out with him more like, because he's faster than me. So he's got a Ducati Monster, and he was looking at maybe potentially a new bike at some point. I mean, he loves his Ducati Monster, but yeah, I think we all love the bikes that we've got, but we all like new bikes. And obviously I'm looking forward to test riding bikes when I actually get out there and I'll pass and I can actually experiment with different bikes, and Mark said that he'll come with me. So we're going to be driving around Plymouth City Centre in a minute to get to Plymouth Hoe, and then park up. I've been wearing like cotton gloves under my summer gloves because I find the winter gloves being too thick. And I don't feel like I've got control of my bike with the actual winter gloves on. So I've been struggling. The last time I went out, I wore my summer gloves without anything on underneath, and my God, my hands were like Olaf from Frozen. You know, they were so cold. A friend of mine has got heated gloves. He paid £100 for them, so that is something I'll look towards getting maybe next year. I don't see much point in getting it this year now. But yeah, definitely next year getting some heated gloves, because you can get a nice pair of Thing heated gloves and they still do the job as the winter gloves. I'm hoping you all had a good Christmas and looking forward to New Year, and Santa brought you all what you asked for. Just going to let the bike over rev a little bit as I'm riding, doing it on purpose to get a bit more charge onto the battery. Obviously I'm going to be riding it a lot more soon, but just over this period. So some good memories around here. So on my right, as we're going through, the horrible looking green building used to be a Toys R Us. So used to have a lot of fun going in there, especially when towards the back they used to have the bikes that you could get down and play on. Plymouth Pavilions over there. They used to have a lovely swimming pool. Used to have like a little wave motion. Used to love going in there, and a nice rink, but they've closed down now. Not a lot of call for it. We have got I'll road past it earlier. We've got the Plymouth Life Centre. There's loads of swimming pools in there, Olympic size, and so people stopped using pavilions, and it caused it to shut down. It's still open for events and concerts and stuff. For my birthday, me and the other half went to see Rag and Bone Man in there. So I think the other half might pull up in a minute, but if she does, I'm going to carry on going towards the Barbican and ride through the Barbican and around. Oh no, she's going to go do it as well. The Barbican it used to be a lovely place to go. They used to have like little gizit shops there where you could get like your normal seaside shops where you could just get all your buckets and spades and all your Plymouth Barbican golf gunk, and but there isn't any of that anymore. It's more, I don't want to say upend, but it's more like restaurants, pubs, and like upper market stuff. So this is from the Barbican. They always have their own lights down here for Christmas. Plymouth Gin Distillery. Not a fan of gin, but I know people that are. Just on the other side of the buildings, we've got the MV Augusta sales room, and I'm not going to lie, some absolutely stunning bikes in there. I saw one the other day. Again, me and Mark came down here, just on the other side of the Navy Inn. There's Captain Jasper's, quite synonymous to Plymouth for bikers. They always ride down and park up, and there might be somewhere now. I'll have a Jasperizer, which is a big burger or foot-long hot dog. But we went into MV Augusta and there was a lovely bike in there, but it was like 25 grand, and unless one day I win the lottery, a 25 grand bike's way out of my reach. Cobbled pavements, which still feel weird to ride over. Mayflower steps, where the Mayflower set off to find America. We've got our massive marine aquarium. Mountbatten over there, when they do their fireworks competitions, they're set off on Mountbatten Pier. It's quite good around the Plymouth Hoe. It's all one way. So you've got the marina over there. On a couple of videos I've said before, you know, there's not many places in this country where you can go from being on moorland to being by the ocean. And I mean, the views, you've seen the views, well, not even all the views, you've seen some of the views of the moors when I've been up there. But I mean, obviously when I get off a bike and we park up in a minute, I'll show you a little bit more of it. But that's Plymouth Sound over there. Got the breakwater. Royal Citadel, home of the 2-9 Commandos. Is inside the big wall there. We've got Tinside Lido down the bottom, which I'm not sure whether I won't get it on the camera here, but I'll see if I can once we park up. Over in the distance over there, you've got Drake's Island. Obviously home with Sir Francis Drake. Straight ahead we've got Plymouth Lighthouse. The old lighthouse for that Euston station in Plymouth was the Eddystone, which used to be out on the rock, out in the Sound, but due to the amount of money it was costing to constantly go out there and repair it, they moved it brick by brick onto Plymouth Hoe, so it was easier for maintaining. And there's some war memorials in there, which I'll take a camera with me when we go up and I can show you. And back in my day, the building, Plymouth Dome, is now a restaurant called the Ocean View, but it used to be the Plymouth Dome. And it used to be like a interactive museum where you would go in, and there's always, as soon as you walk in, you go into like the Victorian days, and there was always a guy in there with like a fake rat, and he'd throw it at you. And you'd go around and there'd be cameras in there that you could see the sound from. And right, before I go off with Jenny onto the Hoe for our drone flying, so there's Drake's Island over there. I don't know if I can't zoom in, I don't think. There you go, I figured that out to zoom in, not much. But there's Drake's Island over there. Obviously owned by Sir Francis Drake. Over there we got our Tinside Lido. They used to be swimming pools back in my day. A lot of it's back in my day, but they used to be little swimming pools which the sea used to fill up. There's another one over there which is by Pier 1, which has been filled in. But they used to be swimming pools, just free. You used to be able to just come in and grab them. Obviously Tinside's been taken over by the council, so you've now got to pay for it. But over there's Mount Hedgecombe. It's a lovely view. So being able to go from the moors to over here, got a dome there,